Rolling out.
Air units for medical, please shut off the lights.
Actually, I kind of like the spotlight. Always leave a little bit of space, because any of you guys know that
Alright, car 2, I got traffic on the next one. You're taking lead.
desync is usually a thing in 5M, so... Especially when you get this many custom cars in one spot. And AI doesn't always pay attention either. We need traffic stop at 68? No, I don't think we might. We're gonna get somebody in there. Five 516, take oncoming lanes. They may have to just go around the AI up there. You guys know AI doesn't always cooperate. Yeah, it is. Yeah, a lot of vehicles. I want to try and keep the radio silence as quiet, or radio as quiet as possible, so...
All LEO in the back, if you just want to go around and get back in the front, go right ahead.
Definitely.
Alright, overtakers, let's slide in one at a time at the front.
Oh, at the front? Okay. Now, why am I leading? Yeah, I know where we're going, but it'd be a little easier if we had cruise control. That was Gator Jones and Jon Snow right there, guys.
Car 1, when we get past this bridge, do you want to block the on-ramp? Just make sure nobody tries to join.
10-4. Yeah, I'm using a controller. .516 pulling off. Yeah, let me shoot back to the front.
Alright, car 1, I got right side of the intersection. Car 2, you got left.
Copy that.
Oh, I was trying to space the cars out a little bit, but that's okay.
Parade command, just so you know, your rear side is on the northwest side of the park right now. You're good there.
Yeah, I just don't want to be blocking this sidewalk here, so.
Headquarters, medic 1. Headquarters, medic 1. Be advised, all units are on scene Legion Square from the parade detail.
And still on standby. Attention all units, all stations. Priority hold is now in effect. All radio traffic is to be held The following New York emergency responders are not present and accounted for. Chief Peter J. Garcia Jr.,
Yeah,
Commissioner
if you want,
William N.
tune into our radio
Braden,
channel too.
Marshal
I have an
Ronald
extra
Paul
portable here.
Buga, Chaplain Michael Judge, Chief Gerard A. Barbara, Chief Donald J. Burns, Chief Matthew Lancelot Ryan, Lieutenant Paul Thomas Mitchell, Chief William McGrovin, Chief Richard Prutney, Faustin Apostle Jr., Lieutenant Thomas O'Hagan, Chief John Paul Williams, Chief Oreo Palmer, Lieutenant Stephen G. Harrell, Lieutenant Philip Scott Petty, Chief Thomas Patrick DeAnkle, Thomas McCann, Chief Dennis Lawrence Devlin, Chief Edward F. Jargotti, Lieutenant Charles William Garbani, Carl Asoro, Alan D. Feinberg, Chief John M. Pelio, Chief Frederick Claude Scaffold Jr., Lieutenant Charles Joseph Maggiotti, Lieutenant Jeffrey E. Gougeot, Lieutenant Anthony Jobin, Chief Joseph Grislack, Michael Leopoldo Bocino, Chief John Moran, Chief Lawrence T. Stack, Chief Dennis Cross, Chief Joseph Ross Marchbanks Jr., Captain Joseph F. Fairley, Captain Thomas Moody, Captain Timothy M. Stackpole, Chief Thomas Theodore Haskell Jr., Captain Martin J. Egan Jr., Captain William O'Keefe, Lieutenant Andrew Desperito, Michael T. Weinberg, Calixto Anya Jr., Jane C. Riches, Thomas G. Scolas, Paul A. Tegmeller, Manuel Dalval Jr., Paul Byer, Thomas Holohan, William R. Johnston, Robert Harrow, Lieutenant Greg Arthur Atlas, Jeffrey James Olson, Paul Henson, Captain William Francis Burke Jr., Thomas Anthony Casoria, Michael J. Alfred, Vincent D. Kane, Martin E. McWilliam, Robert McPadden, James Nicholas Peppergojo, Hector Louis Torrado Jr., Mark P. Whitford, Captain Thomas Farina, Donna R. Hannon, Robert W. Spear Jr., Lieutenant Kevin Pfeiffer, David R. Michael Boyle, Robert Evans, Keithley Marcelius Maynard, John Gallardo, Lieutenant John F. Ginley, Kevin Bracken, Michael D. D'Aria, Bruce Gary, Michael F. Lynch, Stephen Marcedo, Paul John Gill, Jose Guadalupe, Leonardo Riggio, Christopher Santoro, Lieutenant Peter L. Flund, Robert Lane, Christopher Mazzillo, Stephen P. Russell, Lieutenant Robert D. Majel, Ruben D. Sorio, Lieutenant Paul Richard Martini, Gregory Joseph Buck, Christopher Picker, John Albert Sharp, Lieutenant Robert Francis Wallace, Carl Henry Joseph, Sean Edward Powell, Kevin O'Reilly, Lieutenant Carl John Bettigan, John Joseph Florio, Michael Edward Roberts, Kenneth Thomas Watson, Daniel Sir, Lieutenant Kenneth Bellian, Stephen Coakley, Neil Joseph Lazy, John Chikura, David Paul D'Uzio, Brian Gallansey, Stanley S. Nagla Jr., Lieutenant Brian G. Ahen, Frank Bonomo, Michael Scott Carlo, Jeffrey Stark, Eugene Whelan, Edward James White III, Lieutenant Stephen Bates, Nicholas Paul Schiffer, Francis S. Besseger, Lee S. Verheugen, Lawrence G. Viling, Lieutenant Glenn E. Wilkinson, Ronnie Lee Henderson, Michael Raguso, Anthony Rodriguez, Raymond R. York, Chief John Fanning, Lieutenant A. John Frisky, Dennis M. Carey, Martin N. Finleo, Thomas Gardner, Jonathan R. Homan, Dennis Musco, Kevin Joseph Smith, Captain Frederick III Jr., Michael J. Clark, George C. Pascal, Dennis P. Garman, Daniel Edward Harlan, Carl Molino, Dennis Michael Mulligan, Captain Patrick J. Brown, Lieutenant Kevin W. Donnelly, Michael Carroll, James Raymond Cole, General Doohan, Jeffrey John Giordano, Joseph Maloney, John Kevin McGaddy, Kenneth Patrick Mascooney, Joseph J. O'Roon, Stephen John Olson, Captain David Terrace Woolley, Lieutenant Daniel O'Callaghan, Joseph Anagilio Jr., Peter Brennan, Michael E. Brennan, Michael Hobb, Michael F. Lynch, Samuel Otis, John James Tipping II, Lieutenant Vincent Francis Fiamara, Lieutenant Michael Wircho, Louis Arenas, Andrew Grun, Thomas Hannafin, Paul Han-Juan Keating, John A. Santor, Gregory Thomas Casito, Captain Vernon Allen Richard, George Kane, Robert Joseph Bodie, Charles Mendez, Richard Muldowney Jr., Vincent Princioto, Lieutenant Vincent Gerald Hahn, Gerald Becky, John P. Tierney, Jeffrey P. Wade, Sean Patrick Talon, Lieutenant Michael Copley, Michael F. Camarca, Edward James Day, John F. Henryman, Richard John Kelly Jr., Robert King Jr., Matthew Rogan, Andrew May Jarubu Jr., Michael B. Mullen, Captain Walter G. Hines, Thomas Hetzel, Dennis McHagan, Thomas Isabella, Gregory Stajic, Lieutenant Joseph Gerald Booby, Richard Leonard Allen, Arthur Thetis Berry, Thomas W. Kelly, Scott Coptico, Scott Larson, Douglas E. Ulster-Geiger, Eric T. Olson, Lieutenant Raymond E. Murphy, Robert Caruso, Captain John R. Fisher, John Patrick Burnside, James Michael Garay, Sean S. Hanley, David Langford, Robert Thomas Linane, Robert D. McComan, Gerald T. Ackwood, Gerald Duffy, Keith Glasgow, Joseph Henry, William E. Kurkowski, Benjamin Saray, Captain Daniel J. Brethel, Stephen Elliott Belson, Lieutenant Glenn C. Perry, Matthew Barnes, John Michael Cullen, Kenneth Crumphill, Robert Nevada, Joseph Pavelli, Paul G. Ruback, John Marshall, Captain Frank Callahan, James Andrew Gibson, Vincent S. Morello, Michael Otten, Michael Roberts, Joseph Swat Jr., Michael Anthony Alexander Belfort, Lieutenant Joseph Skolitzin, Patrick Bryan, Salvatore E. Calabro, Brian Canizo, Thomas J. Kennedy, Joseph Smithio, A. McShane, Captain Vincent Bloomton, Thomas Richard Kelly, Henry Alfred Miller, Dennis Oberg, Frank Anderson Palumbo, Lieutenant Christopher P. Sullivan, Lieutenant Robert M. Reagan, Joseph Angolo, Vernon Paul Cherry, Scott Matthew Davidson, Leon Smith Jr., Peter Anthony Vega, Christian Michael Odo Rigarhart, Andrew Jordan, Michael Cooper, Thomas Minigone, Sean T. Viego, Sergei Koyanko, Michael Joseph Colley, Captain Terrace S. Halkin, Lieutenant Dennis Mojito, Joseph Angelino, Gary Geigel, William Henry, Kenneth Joseph Marino, Michael Montesi, Gerald Taylor Kennedy, Patrick J. O'Keefe, Brian Edward Swoon, David M. White, Lieutenant Peter C. Martin, William David Lake, Daniel F. Goodray, John Napolitano, Kevin O'Rourke, Lil Colin Wape, Edward Rao, Christopher Joseph Blackwell, Thomas Foley, Thomas Capito Jr., Raymond Meisner, Donald J. Reagan, Gerard Patrick Schrang, Captain Brian Hankey, Lieutenant Kevin Dowdell, Terrence Patrick Farrell, William J. Mahoney, Peter Allen Nelson, Durrell B. Purcell, Captain Louis Joseph Modetti, Lieutenant Harville, Lieutenant Maskell, John P. Bergen, Carl Vincent Daney, Michael Curtis Floor, Andre J. Fletcher, Douglas Charles Miller, Jeffrey Matthews Bozzo, Nicholas P. Ramado, Alan Keswick, Robert J. Crawford, Chief Raymond Matthew Downey, Chief Charles Casper, Captain Patrick J. Walters, Lieutenant Timothy Higgins, Lieutenant Michael Thomas Russo, Captain James A. Marmato, Lieutenant Edward, Lieutenant Michael Fedor, Brian Litcher, Gary Box, Thomas N. Butler, Peter Carroll, Robert Cody, David J. Fontana, Matthew David Garrity, Stephen Jared Siller, Lieutenant William E. McGinn, Eric Allen, Andrew Fredericks, David Hartman, Timothy Haskell, Manuel Majica, Laurent Virgil, Lieutenant Michael K. Seeley, Thomas Patrick Cohen III, Robert Hamilton, Michael J. Moyans, Gregory Sikorsky, R. Bruce Van Hyne, Terrell Coleman, Thomas Cooley, Peter J. Langone, Patrick Leon, Kevin Fryer, Lieutenant Ronald T. Kerwin, Ronnie E. Geis, Joseph Hunter, Jonathan Lee LePay, Adam David Rand, Timothy Matthew Welty, Paramedic Carlos R. Leo, Paramedic Ricardo J. Quinn, Superintendent Ferdinand B. Morone, Chief James A. Lorenzo, Lieutenant Robert T. Searcy, Inspector Anthony P. Infinite Jr., Captain Kathy Nancy Naga, Sergeant Robert M. Coffers, Donald James McClentry, Walter Arthur McNeil, Joseph Michael Navas, James Nelson, Alfonso J. Nizamir, James Wendell Farman, Dominic A. Fazula, Antonio J. Rodriguez, Richard Rodriguez, Bruce Albert Reynolds, Christopher C. Armato, Maurice C. Berry, Cynthia David Sr., Donald A. Foreman, Greg J. Warner, Kuro Gonga Housen, George G. Howard, Thomas E. Gorman, Stephen Huzko Jr., Paul Williams Jurgen, Liam Calhoun, Paul Lazioni, David Crucio Lenegni, John Joseph Lennon Jr., John Dennis Levy, James Francis Lynch, John P. Scala, Wallen W. Stewart Jr., Kenneth F. Tidgeton, Nathaniel Webb, Michael P. Holey, Sergeant Timothy A. Roy, Sergeant John Gerald Coffin, Sergeant Rodney C. Field, Sergeant Michael S. Purdick, Joseph D. Virgano, Claude Daniel Richards, Murray Ann Smith, Raymond Suarez, Paul Tulpe, Santo Valentin Jr., Walter E. Weaver, Ronald Philip Buffer, Johannes M. McGowan, James Patrick Leahy, Brian Grady McDonald, John William Perry, Glenn Karen Pettit, John D. Alera, Vincent Dan, Jerome M. P. Dominic, Stephen P. Disco, Mark Joseph Ellis, Robert Fazio Jr.
First off, I want to thank everyone for coming out here, helping us with this event. Many of you probably remember exactly where you were, what you were doing when you found out about the events that happened today. If we go back 18 years in one night, 246 people went to sleep in preparation for the morning flights. 2,606 people went and sleep in preparation for work in the morning. 343 firefighters went to sleep in preparation for the morning shift. 60 police officers went to sleep in preparation for the morning patrol. And 8 paramedics went to sleep in preparation for the morning shift. None of them saw past 10 a.m. on September 11th, 2001. In one single moment, life may never be the same. As you live and enjoy the breaths you take tonight, before you go to sleep in preparation for your life tomorrow, kiss the ones you love, snuggle a little tighter, never take 1 second for granted. I ask now we all bow our heads, have a moment of silence for the ones that we lost. Thank you.
Just real quick before we depart. Just a reminder, 9/11 is still affecting us today. 22 names of fallen firefighters and paramedics, and several were added to the 9/11 memorial this morning as a result of complications from 9/11 related illnesses, cancer, mesothelioma, and others. This is something that will continue to affect our nation and those around us for decades to come. Let's keep those folks in our thoughts and prayers as well.
If anyone else has anything else they'd like to add or say, feel free to go right ahead. Okay. I appreciate everyone helping us put this together and coming out. And we can all go ahead and return on duty.
Headquarters, Medic 1.
Go ahead, Medic 1.
Show special detail disbanded.
And 4, showing special detail disbanded, all units back 10.